Hi, welcome to Enter the Bunker, where we launch you into thriving. Each week we talk about a different virtue that can be used as a building brick to build your own personal bunkers. We share personal stories, as well as tips and tricks to help you thrive instead of survive. So sit down, relax, and enter the bunker.
Hello. Welcome to Enter the Bunker. This week's building brick part 2 is beauty. My name's Kelly.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we're going to go over how to find beauty everywheres.
Everywhere.
So here's some tips on how to find beauty everywheres. Number 1, rekindle a childlike wonder.
Ooh.
2, wake up with a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
3, appreciate the beauty around you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like those are all like so good. I'm excited.
Here we go.
Okay, 1, rekindle a childlike wonder. Do you remember what it's like to just do something for the pure enjoyment of it? Even though they know the least about it, children can be the ultimate teacher about life. From stomping in puddles without a care in the world to the inquisitive way they live, children have a lot to teach us about how to live and cope with life. The childlike sense of wonder that leads to boundless enthusiasm to learn about something can be tapped into as an adult. Every adult has an inner child. Connect with it and view the world in a child's eyes again, like it was the first time. Yeah, so what?
I'm just thinking about one of my kids in relation to this, because his curiosity and his wonder about everything is just endless.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes we know that he's going to get interested in something.
Yeah.
And we're like, quick, hide it so he doesn't see it.
Yes. Yeah.
and so then you try to hide it, but then he gets a glimpse at it and it's like, oh no, he has to get his hands on it now.
Yeah.
Right. And then once he does, he has to take it apart and look at it and everything else. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's amazing how interesting. And then when he's outside, he loves to be able to play with bugs, of all things, right?
Yeah.
Like, gets right into, like, not afraid of them at all. We'll pick them up, look at them and everything else, carry it around and stuff that
He probably thinks they're beautiful.
Yeah. And he just yeah, a bug,
Yeah.
right? So it's really endless just how they look at everything, and just like they have to stop and like spend time with it and enjoy it.
Yeah, there was something in here that made me think of that too. Like, even though they know the least about it, they can be like the ultimate teacher in life, because like they don't even know they're doing it.
Yeah.
And they're teaching us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Tap it. So yeah, go back into your life and remember something what was something that you used to love to do as a kid? Can you think of anything right now? I kind of talked about dancing in the rain earlier.
Most of my childhood, I mean, all I can think about was doing a lot of bike riding.
Yeah.
Honestly, like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I got around.
Yeah, I actually can tell a bike riding story. Like, I remember biking in the rain. I don't know, what is it with me and rain? But biking in the rain, and the way the rain would come off that back tire,
Mm-hmm.
we would like take garbage bags and like cover our butts and backs with them because of the rain. Anyway, it was just a fun time. You should try biking in the rain.
Did you ever do the thing where you took a card and put it in your spokes, so that
a water bottle or something too,
so that it would make all kinds of sound, like
Yeah.
you're like it was like a motorbike,
a dirt bike or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And my nephew did it a couple years ago, and then I was like, that is so annoying. So I wonder what my
The
parents.
beauty is gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
That's so funny. Okay, number 2 is wake up with a purpose. If you treat life as a series of tasks that need to be accomplished, you are likely to miss out on some pretty spectacular experiences. Aimlessly and mindlessly going from one task to the next can blind you to what is happening around you. Instead, approach each day with a purpose and make a commitment to explore one new thing at some point throughout the day. Start off with a routine that will inspire you. If a morning jog is your thing, do it. Others would be likely to gravitate towards yoga, or maybe sitting in your favorite chair with a cup of coffee and a good book. This will set you off on the right foot, as doing something like that will likely bring you peace and help you think in a positive way. And when you are positive, you are more open to experiencing the beauty around you. Yeah. So like yoga, the jog, or the coffee does not. I need to find out what's going to make me wake up with. I feel like my purpose is like go to work. Like, I don't want to wake up and read a book and then go to work.
So my day typically starts at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And the first thing I'm doing, usually in between feeding the cats, is
'Cause that's who woke you up, probably.
because that's who wakes me up, is starting to get into, like, the first thing I do is actually like check messages with the development team
Right.
and what's going on.
Because they're already working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm already like digging into what's going on,
Yeah.
you know, with peer plays.
Yeah.
And then after that, I then start to look at, okay, what's happening in the crypto space, right? And so I will spend the better part of the first hour as I'm kind of getting started with the day, listening to all that
Right.
as my day's going, and I'll go all the way until like 6:30
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
And so by the time I get to, getting on with my day, yeah, I know exactly what's going on, and I'm actually like on target with my purpose, right? So that's
I like
what
that idea better than like, yeah.
that's what
Okay.
that's what I do, and for me anyways. And so with that, I'm able to essentially wake up with purpose, right? Because that's what I'm focused on. Now, if it wasn't like a typical work day, like let's say it was a weekend or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that, right?
yeah.
Then oftentimes
What was that?
I like to switch. I guess I switch gears.
Okay.
And I start to get into memes.
Okay.
I'll start to get into memes around concepts of freedom and what's happening in the world, building, like what's happening with the current world falling apart and building a new world and things like that. So again, with purpose, but a different kind of
different.
It's more of a personal,
Yeah, personal. There you go.
something I personally care about.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do on the weekend versus the weekdays, I guess. But that's just me. For everybody, it's different. So if it depends on if you need to, another thing I've done recently, because I need to lose the weight, I've started to actually get into taking like a walk in the morning.
Okay.
Right. So that's something else.
Yeah.
Right. Now, whether that contributes, now while I'm taking the walk, of course, I'm taking in like everything around me. Sometimes I can appreciate like, morning, the
birds
birds are chirping and the sun
Sunset?
is rising, the sunrise,
Sunrise, yeah, the sunrise.
so yeah, you get an opportunity to take that all in. And so of course you're going to start to appreciate the beauty around you. And that sets a tone for how you take on the rest of the day. Right. So if you just kind of, wake up and you're just kind of like rolling out of bed and then just like quickly scurrying into whatever you're doing without stopping for all of that, it's like you're so cajolted that you can't be able to like stop and appreciate.
I can
things and
vouch
be
for
able to.
this.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
and actually, you're sitting here talking because I like going through this. I'm like, what could I do in the morning that would like maybe start my day off better? Because like, I mean, they're not horrible, but I feel like throughout the day I get a little stressed and like in my own head because like the night before I was thinking about all the stuff that I needed to do. So maybe if I could get up in the morning and have my coffee, because I sometimes will have a coffee or even my glass of lemon water or whatever, and they maybe write down like, because I know I have to get up and go to work. Like I feel like that's my purpose, but I also am head of the parent teacher group, so there might be a few things that I need to get done for that. So maybe just writing out my task list for the day, like I do one for work. So I'm thinking kind of do one personally for the day so I can scratch those things off. So when I go out for a lunch and I make the phone call that I need to make for PTG, I can scratch that off my list. It's just keeping it in the list and maybe making that list first thing in the morning for my day of what I want to get done that day. That might be my thing.
And when you do that,
Yeah.
you'll feel more settled. But then afterwards, after you have that list and you see it scratched off,
Yeah.
when you look at that, what are you gonna think?
That's beautiful.
Exactly.
That's actually what I'm going to think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I get where you're going. Okay, so number 3 was appreciate the beauty around you. So open your eyes, pay attention. There is beauty in everything around you. From a child's laugh to a sunset to the smell of rain to the artistry of a tattoo. All of it brings with it a beauty that you only have to open your eyes and heart to see. When you train yourself to notice it and appreciate it, you will be well on your way to being happier, more positive person. And that is the way to thrive. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Appreciate the beauty around you.
Yeah. And it's, again, it goes back to something we talked about in the last episode with like just paying attention to the things that are the opportunity for beauty around you. Some call it silver, the silver lining in the cloud and, glass half full and things like that. But it comes with a sense of wonder and reverence as well. So it's like it's a step up, right? As far as building bricks go.
Right.
So if you're able to just ask the question, like, this is about appreciate the beauty around you, open your eyes, pay attention. So what's beautiful in this? Like, what can I see that's beautiful today? And then start to look, right? Because your mind will answer whatever question you give it.
Yeah.
So ask yourself, what's beautiful? Like what's beautiful today?
Right.
And then look for it. And sure enough, you're going to find it.
I kind of have a little story actually about my kids. So we were getting ready to go. I think it was on the weekend, and they were fighting nonstop, and I had it. I'm like, you guys are grounded from your switches. You're done. And this is how we got in the car. And then actually what was happening is I walked out to the car. I told them to go out to the car. And then I got out there like a minute later. They're not even in the car. They're outside the car fighting, screaming, like, and we live in like a neighborhood. So like people can see, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so in the car they go, and I'm like, you guys are grounded off your switches tonight, blah, blah, blah. And then they start talking. This is what I found beautiful. Because then they start talking, and they were telling each other how they felt. Like Riker, they were telling each other how they felt. Like my oldest was telling him like how he hurt him, and then the other one was telling him how his feelings were hurt. And I was just like listening to them, and I'm like, wow, what a good conversation for two young boys. So I was like, guys, I listened to them, and I was amazed, and it was beautiful. And I told them if they could keep the conversation up and like work on it, I said that I'll unground them. And anyways, they did it, and it was so sweet, and it was just beautiful, and just seeing them able to work through something on their own, like. Only because like you teach them to do those things. So when they do it, it's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. All right. So yes, that is beauty. And you'll have to stay tuned for our next podcast, which will be contentment. And we will see you there.
We'll see you there.
Thank you for listening to Enter the Bunker. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, where you can share your story and also look at behind the scenes of how we make our podcast. You can watch the video version of this podcast on YouTube by simply searching Enter the Bunker. Tune in next time as we launch into thriving.